Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm not going to be in class with you all today. My 5-year-old's sick. He has some flu, so I'm going to have to stay home with him. But we're going to continue working on your Delta Maths. They are due today. You should complete those first, and then also look at this video. And this is going to be the next topic that we're going to cover today, going into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So on what's today? Thursday, Friday. Yesterday, we looked at solving exponential equations with the same base. Wednesday, we looked at solving exponential equations with the same base. I'm going to post a video of those notes in Schoology so you can go back for those reviews. When we have the same base, you just have to write them in the same base. The bases cancel out, and you set the exponents equal to each other. You can solve it. There's another case, which is what we're going to see today, where the bases are not equal. Okay. You can't write these with the same base. Examples 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no way to write them that have the same base. So what we need to do to solve these is we need to use logarithms to solve. Sometimes when we call these log or logs for short. In order to utilize the log in order to solve these for different bases, well, before we can solve it, we need to know what is a logarithm. We need to know how to convert between log and exponent form. And then we also need to know in order to do that, we need to know the rules of exponents and the rules of logarithms. Today we're going to start with 1 and 2. What is a log and how do you convert? After we learn that today, we'll learn something else on Monday, and then by Tuesday we'll be able to circle back and solve these equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The key concepts for today are: what are logarithms? Well, a logarithm is another way to write exponents. We can use logarithms to solve exponential equations with different bases. While I write some of these notes on, I want you to write the key concepts in your notebook, and then that way you can start getting practice with these. So the definition of a log, which we read as, let me write this in a highlighter. We read this as log base, that's not what I want. We read this as log base b of a equals x. So the way we read that, we say log base b of a equals x. That's how we read it. And we can convert that into an exponential form, which looks like this. Let me see if I can write the same colors. B to the x equals a. Okay, it's pretty simple. All we got to do is use the b, the a, and the x and rewrite it as b raised to the x power equals a. Please make sure you write this in your notebook. To remind you guys, I'm going to show you guys how to convert between forms. The corrections: write each equation in exponential form. So let's refresh our memories. Up here, let's say log of base b of a equals x. And to go between forms, we write b to the x equals a. Okay. So what I'm going to do for the first couple examples is I'm going to actually kind of write out what a, b, and x are, just so you can see where I'm pulling these numbers from. You don't necessarily have to do this every time, but it may help you identify. So we're going to identify first. Let's start with b. Since I want to go to exponential form, let's identify our b, which is right here. Then our x, and then our a. Make that a different color so we're not, try to keep these kind of separate. So let me see, my b, my x, and my a is 49. So when I rewrite it, I know I want it to have the form b raised to the x equals a. So I'm looking for this form. B to the x equals a. So I'm going to rewrite it. 7 raised to the second power equals 49. And that's it. At this point, we're not going to try to solve these or try to simplify that 7 squared. We want to keep it like this in exponential form. What's up, Rick?
I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Are you done with your video yet?
No, I'll be done in a little bit. Can you give me a little bit of time? Thank you. Let's take a look at, did I not include that? I forgot to give you guys a bit of information. Let me put it up here. When you don't see anything right here, you're going to assume that it's log base 10. Log base 10 of x, we can write, because it's so common, we use it so often, it's one of the most common ones. We do log of x. We don't actually have to write the 10. It's really similar to the idea or the concept of let's say like square root of x. We really have this second root of x, but it's such a common square root that we just write it as the square root of x. We don't write the 2. So it's a similar concept. This 10 is, log base 10 is such a common used log that we don't have to write the 10, we just write the log. Okay. So when you don't see a number here, you can assume that right here it's 10. So our base is 10. So let me see here. What I use for color base? Please stop that. Please stop. Go put that outside. Our base is 10. Our x is 3. And our a is 1,000. So when we write it, we're going to get 10 to the third power equals 1,000. Okay, let me do one more example. Do number 4. Okay, we have our base of 4. X is negative 3, so I'm going to write 4 to the negative 3 equals a, which is right up here. 1 over 64. And that's how we leave it. I want you guys to try to practice today problem number 2, number 5, and number 6 in your notebooks. Okay. Now let's look at going the other way. Let's go from exponential to logarithmic form. Okay, write each equation in exponential form. What we're trying to do here is go from b to the x power equals a, which is what we have here, and we're converting it to logarithm, which is log base b of a equals x. So I made a mistake here too when I typed this up. This is logarithm. Okay, this will make more sense now. Okay. So I've got my b base of 5. I've got my x equals 2. And I've got my a equals 25. So now I'm going to write log base b log base 5 of 25 equals 2. Okay, that looks more correct. Okay, let's try this one again. And like I said, I'll write out each step so you know where I'm getting these numbers from. Our base is 3. Our x is -4. And our a value is 1 over 81. So I'm going to write it as log base b of a equals x. So let's say log base 3 of 1 over 81 equals 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 10 again. Again, don't let the fractions fool you and the exponents. We're still doing the same thing. We've got our b, our x, and our a. b, x, a. So we're going to write log base b of a equals x. Okay. So we're literally just rewriting. You just have to remember the equations. So what I want you to make sure you write in your notebook is this, so you know how to go back and forth. And I want you to work on these problems today, number 11, number 12, and number 8. Make sure you understand these because we're going to go over them again on Monday, and I'm going to give you an assignment, another Delta Math or a worksheet to work on that's helping you practice converting between forms. Okay. Thank you, guys. I hope you'll have a good weekend. We'll see you all on Monday.